Assalamu alaikum, Aiban and Vanakkam. Most of us would have seen the Olympics, and Olympics in terms of competitive sport, it's the pinnacle of it. You would have seen certain athletes before they go into the main race, or it may be swimming or athletics. You would have seen them sometimes in their zone and talking to themselves. They're just muttering something. What's this muttering? They're just talking to themselves and prepping themselves up. I like to call this your inner voice. Have you experienced your inner voice? Have you heard your inner voice? Have you been listening to your inner voice? All of us have an inner voice. All of us have this voice that talks to us. An inner voice that looks after us in terms of positive and negative. Why do I say positive and negative? It's the way we perceive it, or rather it's the way we train it. Yes, we can train our inner voice. Sometimes when we keep negative talk and when we are always in the negative, our negative voice, or rather our inner voice, tends to be negative. It's always a negative perspective which is coming out. Sometimes you would have seen this in people. Whatever you put across to them, whatever the situation, it may be a very good situation, they are always negative. It's always a pessimistic attitude. This is also to do with a constant negative inner voice which is speaking out. Sometimes what happens is we tend to ignore the inner voice, but it's always there, and then it becomes so predominant in terms of the negativity, it takes over even our outwardly actions as well. So we are able to train our inner voice, to talk to our inner voice. You can talk to yourself and prep yourself up. Lot of us don't use that time. Lot of us ignore that because it's sometimes a little painstaking to go into that area. But when you get used to talking to your inner voice and training your inner voice in a positive manner and not in a negative manner, you start reinforcing it. You start reinforcing it. Guys will relate, when you go to the gym, the first day when you start doing up weights, and if you pull up a big weight and if you do it, the next day, your muscles are going to be out, right? You're going to tight and it's going to be very problematic in terms of soreness. When you start off small with a small weight and gradually when you build up, yes, you will have pain the next day, but then what do you see? Development comes in after day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, consistency. With that consistency, you will start seeing improvement. Same thing with our inner voice. With the consistency, when you keep on at it, don't expect it to happen in a day or two or three, maybe even not even a week, but consistency, a little bit, talking to yourself positively, prepping yourself up. Before you react, find that inner voice in you. Should I do this or not? Calm down. Why don't we do it in this way? That 2-3 seconds which you decide and take a step back in reacting can make so much of difference in your family life, with your partner, with your spouse. It can make amazing difference. With your boss, with your colleagues, it can make amazing difference. I'm doing it, learning from it, making a lot of mistakes, but it works. Your inner voice is able to prep you up and bring out the best in you, especially at times of this nature, what we are going through. We need that inner voice in us to be positive and strong. Hope is something which we can bring out from inside out, and we have it in us. This country has amazing potential. But that potential needs to be brought out through the people. Our inner voice, talking to our inner voice positively, and building and reinforcing a positive attitude will bring out positive action. I wish you all the very best in bringing out the best in you, in talking to yourself, your inner voice, training your inner voice in a positive manner, in a positive light, and living an amazingly positive life. All the very best to you. Assalamu alaikum.